So it's a pretty exciting day here out in the Hay Plains. We are going to be releasing our first zoo-bred Plains Wanderer out into the wild in New South Wales. The Plains Wanderer is a critically endangered species, and their main stronghold is right here in the Hay Plains, the Western Riverina and the Northern Plains of Victoria. They are the sole member of their family, so if we lose the Plains Wanderer, which they are very close to being wiped out, they are critically endangered, that's one family gone from the bird list. So I suppose with us releasing birds into the Hay Plains today, I suppose one step closer for us saving the species. Yeah, definitely this is perfect weather. It's not too hot, not too cold, so we're going to trial releasing them out in different times of the day. And then we'll obviously monitor the birds closely after they're released. So there's good, like we're looking down at on the ground, there's lots of seed on the ground at the moment. You can probably hear the crickets and around as well. So I think perfect conditions for a good release today. So these guys, it's close to the end of the breeding season for Plains Wanderer, but our hope is that they will stay close together. They will hopefully bond. The areas that we picked don't have Plains Wanderer on it. David Parker, the Senior Threatened Species Officer for Saving Our Species, have been monitoring, spotlighting over the last few nights, and there's no Plains Wanderer here. So they can be together, hopefully bond, and when the next breeding season does come around, hopefully they will get chicks on the ground. At the end of the day, conditions are good, so they can breed all year round, but who knows, maybe out of breeding season we'll hopefully get some chicks on the ground as well. So, and at the end of the day, those chicks will hopefully end up breeding with wild Plains Wanderer. So the goal as well is to have a good genetic diversity to aid the dwindling, I suppose, wild population. Yeah, so the Plains Wanderer, they're a tricky little species in the wild and in zoos. They only like a certain soil type, so they don't like a deep brown soil, which can highly grow grasses. They can, I suppose, too high for them to telescope on grasses to know where they are and whatnot. So they like a kind of a reddish soil, 50% bare ground, 50% plant cover. There's a multitude of stakeholders in the recovery program. Saving Our Species pretty much initiated the program, and a number of stakeholders got on board. But without I suppose the landholders, there would be no recovery program. 95% of Plains Wanderer live on private land, on large farms like where I'm standing on here now at the moment. So these guys get their livestock, such as sheep, to go into these huge paddocks and semi-graze the land. Again, they're a tricky species. They only like grasses, above 5 centimetres, below 30 centimetres. And when these landholders know that the habitat is good enough for Plains Wanderer, they'll move them on to the next paddock. So without these guys, we wouldn't be here today to release these birds out into the wild. Without us coming together to work collaboratively, it just all fall apart. So we do work closely together, and this is where we are now, ready to release these critically endangered birds out into the plains. So we're going to be lucky to hang around for a few days and track these guys out in the wild. It will be at a very safe distance, so we'll be only tracking them through beeps on our machines that we're going to use. And this is going to be done over a 12-week period. They're going to be monitored twice a day, and after that, I suppose it's up to them. After 12 weeks, we know that they're going to be safe and sound.